Brenda Green, and welcome back to Living in the Go. So today I'm talking to you about money trivia. I actually was looking at a book that Mellody Hobson wrote for children, and I realized as I was going through it, because I'm always looking for information for different ages, right? There was stuff in there that us adults don't even know, don't even have a clue of, and it was fascinating to me. So I'm gonna share some of those things that I saw, and again, it's money trivia. So 3.9 billion years ago, meteorites hit the earth, right? When they hit the earth, they deposited all kind of metals and minerals. So gold, plutonium, all of that came from meteorites hitting the earth because we didn't originally have any, okay? That's how it started. So modern humans evolved in Africa about 315,000 years ago, and they were called Homo sapiens, which is Latin for wise men. They learned to talk and to trade, but they still at that time didn't have any physical money. So 10,000 years ago, humans learned to farm, and they had villages and they formed communities, right? They still had no money, no physical money. They were trading back and forth, but no money. 5,000 years ago, money got developed because farming was growing, right? It was developing, and they had to find a way to be able to exchange things with each other, and you couldn't just barter for things. They wanted to buy goods, and they wanted to buy maybe food from the farmers, or they wanted to buy lumber to start building. So they needed to have something to form that system of monetary. So back during that time in Mesopotamia, which is, you know, before they had Egypt and all of that, they created a system of coins, and they agreed upon the value of it, and those coins at that time were called shekels. And shekels is Hebrew for to weigh. So each of the coins had their own value, and everybody agreed upon how much they were worth. And so they would be bartering for that equal value, right? So that's kind of how it started 5,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, coins were able to tell a story. So for example, if you look at the Roman Empire, they stamped information on their coins. So not only just the emperor of the day, but also dates and times and places. So we could actually know when the Colosseum came into effect because they stamped a coin with it and the date of when it was built. How cool is that? So 1,500 years ago in Central America, they accepted cocoa beans as payment. And because cocoa beans, you could roast them and crush them up and make delicious hot chocolate. So people were trading the beans, and the beans were worth money, just like the coins were. Kind of cool. So 1,100 years ago, China created paper currency, and they created it from mulberry tree bark. So that was the first paper currency that people had heard of and they were using. About 1,000 years ago, the first, I'd like to call it the first credit card was created, because back in that time, let's say in England, the knights would be going around doing the service of the king. They didn't have money necessarily, but they had these signet rings. And so when they would go to get like new armor or stop at the inn to sleep overnight or whatever, they used their signet ring and they would press it into the hot wax as like, I owe you, this is the money that you are to receive from me staying here. And then those innkeepers or whoever they were would take those to the king to get paid. So kind of like the first credit cards. So I thought it was kind of interesting, kind of fascinating in terms of how money evolved and it's what it looks like today. But that's where it all started. So a little bit of trivia. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.